What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be talking about a Dragon Ball movie that kind of isn't really talked about now, because when everyone thinks of Gogeta in a Dragon Ball movie, they always think of Blue Gogeta against Broly, because let's be honest, that movie was definitely better than this movie. I'm just going to say that right now, but that's not to say I don't respect Fusion Reborn and what it did and why I like the movie even now, even though some of it is a bit like kind of a bruh and kind of weird. But some things I do think they do better than the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, but some is also just kind of like a what is this kind of thing. For one, the villain in Fusion Reborn, I don't like Janemba that much, I can't lie. Yeah, he was cool in all the Dragon Ball games, seeing him in every Dragon Ball game intro all the time, and playing as him in other games, or attempting to play as him just to realize, oh wait, he's trash in this game. You know, all those Dragon Ball, sure, Janemba, he looks cool, I like his design, he's got cool powers, he's got a sword, he just, he doesn't even speak, and I'm not even going to mention his first form, with that big yellow thing, and, just ridiculous. He was just so boring, I can't lie. He was just not fun to watch either. He was just like boring. I think that maybe been the point. But when he went to Super Janemba, it was okay, but not gonna lie, I personally prefer DBS Broly to Janemba, but that's just me. I don't care for Janemba too much, but I don't hate him. I think he's an okay villain. Especially for a movie villain, he's definitely pretty solid, because most Dragon Ball movie villains are pretty doo-doo, not gonna lie, but I think Janemba's fine. And the fight scenes with him, first let's talk about the fight scenes, because that's what we first see in Fusion Reborn. I think we first see a little tournament thing going on, and then we also see King Yama being like, oh, make sure you be careful with the scrubber thing or whatever, that big scrubber that scrubs souls or whatever. We see that, and how Janemba comes to be is okay, I guess. Like, that little boy he's like, oh wow, I'm just trying to have some fun, and that old dude's like, you know, I was a kid once too, just make sure you're careful. Then literally 10 seconds later he messes it all up and becomes Janemba, so peak right there, peak. You know, I think it's fine though, I don't think it's bad. It's just a bit boring, but I can't blame him because it's like a 15-minute special. It's not even a full movie, I don't think. So, seeing Pikkon in the movie was also cool. It sucks that he does practically nothing. He just kind of comes and is just like, oh, I gotta yell insults at this glass thing, because this whole thing is encapsulated, so I'd have to yell insults. And I'm just sitting there like, why is he doing this? Why are you making Pikkon do this? And when he does fight, he gets practically one-shotted. It's kind of sad. Like, he doesn't even put up any sort of fight. He just gets one-shotted by Janemba. It looks cool when he punches his head together, but it's just like, man, Pikkon, you did nothing. You did nothing. This movie also doesn't have any other side characters that much. Like Piccolo, I don't even know where he is. I also don't know what time this is supposed to take place, because Majin Buu Saga is more, because Vegeta's dead. You guys can tell me in the comments where you would think the timeline or where this fits in the time for Dragon Ball is, but I do not know where it is, because Vegeta's dead, Goku's dead, Gohan's there being the greatest. I don't understand. So you guys can let me know what's going on in the timeline down below. But we also see the Great Saiyaman. Piccolo's nowhere to be seen. I don't remember Krillin or Tien or anybody like that. I don't remember any of them being there. So maybe they're dead, just like them. I'm not sure. But Gohan's here, so I don't know. We see Gohan and Gotenks with Goten and Trunks. And that whole thing, I'm not even going to say his name. But you know what Gotenks was fighting this movie. Genuinely stupid. Not gonna lie, I did not. I was just like, okay, whatever, I guess. We can see Gotenks beat him up, sure, whatever. It's definitely goofy, though. I thought it was kind of funny, but also kind of weird, but it was fine, I guess. Whatever. And then, after that, was Gohan and Videl. Gohan and Videl also were, they were okay. I mean, they didn't do too much. Gohan just kind of one-shotted Frieza, and then everybody else was running, "Oh no, I'm not trying to die, no!" It was just so kind of mid for Gohan and Videl, not gonna lie, but I'm not expecting them to do much because of the Great Saiyaman and Great Saiyan, but I don't care about them, not gonna lie. And then with Goku and Janemba, Goku's fight with the yellow Janemba was okay. Seeing Super Saiyan 3 kind of be somewhat useful was pretty cool too. But when he goes Super Janemba, that's when it kind of changes, and then Vegeta comes out of nowhere. I think it makes sense because I think all the villains and bad people are being resurrected, and Vegeta was considered one of the bad people, so that makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to why he's dead and why Goku's dead. I don't. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the timeline. I heard some theories about the movies being a separate timeline, but they do flashbacks back to other stuff, like Frieza's there, so. You know, this isn't like GT where Cooler's coming out of nowhere in Dragon Ball GT, which doesn't make sense, but I don't know. I just don't know what's going on here, but yeah, so after that is Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta comes out of nowhere and he's like, "Oh, Goku, let me help you. Let me help you." And then he comes out of nowhere. He gets bodied. He gets absolutely bodied by Janemba. And then they go into this, like, spike ball thing, and then Vegeta's like, I don't mind the Vegeta crying scene. I don't think it has good acting. I just think it's kind of weird that Vegeta's doing this because what did you expect, bro? Like, what did you expect? Come on now. Maybe this is because maybe somehow this Vegeta didn't know Goku had Super Saiyan 3 and he's stronger than Vegeta, but bro, like, come on now, bro. Like, I don't know if this is like, oh, Vegeta just died not too long ago and now he's back and he just saw Super Saiyan 3 for the first time and he's like, Kakarot, do I look okay, Kakarot? And he's over here crying or whatever, like, I've remained the same. And he's like crying and I'm like, why are you crying, bro? I don't care that he cries because he's cried before, but I think it's kind of weird that he's crying. I guess it makes sense if you kind of like don't think about, if you kind of piece together a weird timeline, sure, it makes sense why he's crying. Because Goku, I guess, didn't show it off in the Majin Vegeta fight, and now he did, and now Vegeta's just over here crying because he's sad that he got much stronger than him, but I don't know, I think it's weird for Vegeta to cry knowing that Goku's stronger, because every time Vegeta's known that Goku is stronger, I don't remember him crying. I remember him just getting, like, pissed off and training even more and being more dedicated. So, I think it's funny that he's just sitting there crying now. Maybe because he's also gonna die, and once this is over, he's gonna go back to being dead or whatever. So, that may be also the case. And then Goku's like, we have to fuse, Vegeta. And he's like, fusion! Oh my god, I'm like, God. And then they argue for a bit about it, but then they eventually do it. And Pikkon kind of, I guess, stalls after for a little bit. I'm pretty sure Pikkon stalls, but then they mess up the fusion. Obviously, go into the Fat Gogeta, and I'm like, what is that? And then they somehow last the whole time with that ridiculousness, and I'm just okay, whatever. I think around this time the Gotenks and that name that we will not mention wraps up as well, but yeah. I guess it's okay. It's alright, I guess. And then when Gogeta fuses, you know, the theme plays. When Gogeta fuses, I'm not the biggest fusion fan, which I will do a video on that soon, me talking about why I don't care too much for the fusions, but when they do look cool, I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, they don't look cool, but like, I have no attachment to the fusion characters because I never see Gogeta. I barely know his personality like that. I don't know Gogeta like that. I just don't. So I can't say, oh, I don't care about Gogeta and know him. I like the fusions. Like, I think they're cool. The fusions just kind of remind me of what Dragon Ball Heroes kind of does, where it's just like fan service and that's really about it. I don't mind fan service, but I'm not the biggest fan of fusions, which may be contrary to what a lot of Dragon Ball fans think. I've seen a lot of people say my favorite character is just Gogeta or Vegito, and I'm just, that's cool. You can have your opinion, but personally, I don't have any attachment to the fusions. So when I saw Gogeta, I'm like, yeah, he's cool, but I don't care too much for him to carry a whole movie. You know, maybe if the fight scene was godlike, like in the Broly movie, sure. But this fight scene was like super quick. Like, it was cool seeing like Gogeta like kick him like 3 times and then kick him again. And then him having the Stardust Breaker was also super cool. And then Vegeta punching him and then dying. I'm not gonna lie, that was clean. But I didn't care too much for Gogeta as a character. But as fan service, it was fine. It was cool. I thought the ending was pretty fast, swift. They probably want to end it fast. Show off how like strong, I guess, Gogeta is. So that's fine. Whatever, but don't care for Gogeta that much. I'm ready for the hate, but I don't care for Gogeta that much. But the fight scene was cool. Fine, sure, Janemba dead. And then the kid is like, whoa, whoa, I gotta get out of here, whoa. And then Gogeta gives off like the little smile. And I've seen the theories about the smile before where it's like, oh, well, Gogeta just smiles because afterwards he's like, he thinks that, because people think that the theory for Gogeta is that he smiles afterwards because he wants to enjoy the time he has left, because he knows that he's a fusion and can't stay alive forever or whatever, so he smiles and tries to enjoy life where it is. I think it's an interesting theory, but I doubt that's why he smiles, but maybe I could be wrong. Maybe the dudes who are writing the movie are secretly just doing something deep, but if that's the case, that is definitely a W, and I still like to smile at the end regardless. And then after the the defuse, Goku takes him back to hell or whatever, and then they say their goodbyes, which is, I like their goodbye, but I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't know if this connects to Dragon Ball Z's timeline. I don't know if this is a separate timeline, if the movies are just a different kind of thing. Because if that's the case, if it connects to the timeline, it doesn't mean nothing like that. Because yeah, it was emotional and it was like pretty deep seeing Vegeta and Goku be like, yeah, goodbye, my friend. But like, he's just gonna come back pretty soon anyway. But if this is a different timeline where it's like the movies are a kind of different thing that's separate from the Dragon Ball Z canon, then yeah, that was a pretty deep moment, and it was actually pretty sad seeing Vegeta just say goodbye and now he's dead. Like, he's gone. He's dead. And then Goku's like, I enjoyed every minute of it. And Vegeta's like, what? No, he was like, Goku was like, thank you, Vegeta. And Vegeta's like, what? I should be thanking you. And he's like, no, I enjoyed every minute of it. And then he just like disappears. He goes back to being like the ghost thing or whatever that got me scrubbed on. If that is the ending for like the movies as a whole, that separate timeline, W. That's a W ending, because it does have emotional baggage to it, because Vegeta's not coming back. If that's the end, Vegeta and Goku are dead. It's time for the other dudes to step up, like Gohan and Gotenks, because they're still alive. So I would think that's a W ending, because it does. It's just like, wow, they're dead. They're gone. Like, they're dead. Vegeta's dead. He's gone, and he said his goodbye, and Goku's gonna stay dead too. And that would have been really cool if that is the separate timeline kind of thing that I've heard about from some people. But this movie is a pretty good movie, I think. It's better than most Dragon Ball movies, but again, I feel as though most Dragon Ball movies aren't the best. They do kind of have, I'm just going to say, they're kind of trash sometimes. They're kind of trash. I didn't care for the Slug movie. I didn't care for Garlic Jr. I think Turles is okay, I guess. The same thing with the Slug. A lot of Dragon Ball movies I don't really care for that much, because they're just kind of whatever. They're just whatever movies, like, oh yeah, it's just some trash movie. I like the show. The show's amazing, don't get me wrong, but some of the movies are definitely a bruh. Some specials in movies are great, which you should check out my other video that I did with Etertius. We ranked the Dragon Ball Z movies. Check that out. Shameless plug, and I'm sorry, but I had to do it to him. But I think this movie is okay. It's just, I think the pacing is fine too. It's okay. It's just, no, I don't know. I don't care too much for this movie. compared to the show, but in terms of movies, I guess, yeah, I do like this movie. You can see where we put it on the list. I think it's probably like a solid 8 out of 10 special / movie, probably like 7.5 maybe. 7.5, 8 out of 10 for the Gogeta, but I do think there are better Dragon Ball movies to check out. But that's gonna be for this video, guys. If you all enjoyed this movie, peace.
Yeah.